For more on the president's plan to use the U.S. military to protect the homeland, we go to Ed O'Keefe at the White House.
President Trump warned today the unprecedented deployment of National Guard and Marines in Southern California to quell protests is just the start.
I can inform the rest of the country that when they do it, if they do it, they're going to be met with equal or greater force than we met right here.
The president specifically called out people who might protest a first-of-its-kind military parade planned for Saturday in Washington. Preparations are underway for the celebration of the Army's 250th anniversary that coincides with Trump's 79th birthday.
And for those people that want to protest, they're going to be met with very big force.
The warnings come as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and other top Pentagon officials told lawmakers today the Guardsmen and Marines in Los Angeles are trained to control crowds and armed.
The commanders and troops on the field are very well prepared, sir.
This situation.
Chuck Hagel is an Army veteran and former Republican senator who served as President Obama's defense secretary.
What would be your biggest concern then about having National Guard and Marines deployed in large American cities?
Loss of life, like we saw in 1970.
But 1970 at Kent State.
At Kent State, when the National Guard opened up on students and killed students, partly because they weren't trained. They panicked.
When they hear the president say, if there are protests, I'm going to send troops into other cities or to other places, how would officers likely be reacting when they hear that?
The concern that our top leadership will have if this continues is, am I going to get to the point where I may have to refuse a direct order to send in or give troops authority to do whatever?
And I would think even contemplating defying an order from the commander-in-chief is a nightmare scenario for most officers.
Sure. Contemplating a scenario like that is a career-ending decision.
And Ed O'Keefe joins us now from the White House. Ed, the president spoke at Fort Bragg today. What did he say, if anything, about what's happening in L.A.?
Well, it was quite a scene, John, to see the commander-in-chief speaking in front of troops, giving such a politically charged address about what's going on in Los Angeles. He called protesters, quote, animals. And when he referenced Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass and California Governor Gavin Newsom, he called them incompetent. The crowd, a mix of civilians and uniformed personnel, booed at mentions of the mayor and the governor. Quite a scene at the nation's largest Army base. We don't normally see the commander-in-chief give such political remarks in front of the troops. John?
Indeed. Ed O'Keefe at the White House. Thank you, Ed.